Autoline Daily is brought to you by Bridgestone, passion for excellence, and by Dow Automotive Systems, innovations for clean powertrain solutions.
This is Autoline Daily for the last day in March of 2011, and now the news. President Obama yesterday called for the United States to reduce its dependence on oil. Of course, that's the same goal that was set by Presidents Nixon, Ford, Carter, Reagan, Bush 1, Clinton, and Bush 2. And you know, every time the U.S. says it has to get off oil, Americans just go out and use more of it. I once met an expert in the oil industry who told me the United States does have an energy policy, and it goes like this. We don't want you to use oil, but we're going to do everything we can to make sure it's as cheap and plentiful as possible. As every economist knows, if you want people to use less of something, raise the price. A tax on oil phased in over time would produce miracles. I would make it a tax on OPEC oil. The U.S. imports roughly half of the oil it uses, and half of those imports come from OPEC. In other words, if the U.S. could reduce its oil consumption by 25%, or even boost production by 25%, we could kiss OPEC goodbye. And of course, one way to reduce oil consumption is by driving electric cars. Now, Bloomberg reports that General Motors is developing a Buick using the same platform as the Chevy Volt. According to their sources, designers and engineers are grafting a Buick front end on the Opel Ampera. If the car gets approved by management, it's expected to go on sale sometime in 2013. One big challenge is making the Buick model more luxurious than the Volt. But if the car is only getting a new front end, sure sounds like GM is going back to the bad old days of badge engineering. Speaking of EVs, Kia unveiled an electric concept car at the Seoul Motor Show called the Nimo. It's a B-segment car with a number of unique features. The wraparound windshield doesn't have a wiper blade. Instead, it uses a high-intensity air jet at the base of the windshield that performs what Kia calls an air wiper function. The rear view mirrors are replaced with cameras installed in the A-pillars. To make getting in and out easier, the B-pillar was eliminated and the doors open suicide style. Powering the Nimo is an electric motor that's mated to a 27 kilowatt-hour lithium-ion battery. It's got a range of 200 kilometers, which is about 124 miles. But despite all this activity with electric cars, Wards reports that most EV startups are in a financially precarious position. Even more telling, in the next year or so, there will be 70 electric cars and plug-ins hitting the market. It quotes Mickey Bly, who's in charge of electric cars and hybrids at General Motors, as saying, there will be spectacular failures amongst EV companies this year. Even so, J.D. Power sees the market for electric cars growing. It predicts there will be annual sales in the U.S. of 100,000 EVs in 2020. Europe will see sales of 742,000 electric cars, China 332,000, and Japan 100,000. That would put global sales at 1.3 million electric cars a year, which sounds pretty impressive until you realize that's less than 2% of all car sales. Chevy showed a sneak peek of the all-new 2013 Malibu. Not many details were announced, and all we get is this happy snap of a taillight. Showing how important this car is globally for Chevy, the new Malibu will actually debut at the Shanghai Auto Show next month. But it will also be revealed on Chevy's Facebook page, coinciding with the reveal in Shanghai. People can post questions during the reveal on Facebook or Twitter, and they'll be answered by members from Chevy during a live Q&A session. If you've spent more than 5 minutes in the driver's seat, you have heard someone with a big subwoofer in their car. But did you know that that boom, boom, boom can be used for more than just annoying other motorists? We found this clip on Autoblog. A guy outfitted his 2001 Chevy Tahoe with a crazy sound system. How insane? Well, it takes 10 batteries and 3 alternators to power it. It features 4 18-inch subwoofers, 13 amps, and a host of other speakers. Altogether, it's enough juice to literally shred a phone book. Turn on the woofers and watch the tornado. I wonder how this guy isn't tone deaf. Coming up next, a new technology that will allow you to use your phone as a key fob. How does 12 million impressions grab you? Get your advertising message in front of the most engaged automotive consumers in the world.
Call me, Stacy Eman, at 586-255-1364.
Reducing exhaust emissions, aerified diesel particulate filters, high filtration, low back pressure, small package size, excellent durability. DowAerify.com.
Are you like me? Do you often misplace your car keys? Well, for those of us that do, Visteon has a solution.
Michael Eichberg here with Visteon Corporation. This here we have our what we call a phone as fob. So it's taking a cell phone with some built-in NFC-based capability and using that to communicate in with the vehicle. So as I approach my vehicle, maybe I'll use my phone, tap my phone to my vehicle, or as I approach my vehicle, when I'm within like a foot range, it actually sense my phone and unlock my vehicle. Then as I get in, it will then transition my presets, my climate settings, other features I might actually have personalized to my phone as fob, and set those in the vehicle for me. And if my wife might have a different set of settings as she comes with her phone and has her presets and her climate settings in her vehicle.
For those of you that don't know, NFC stands for Near Field Communication, which is a term used to describe short-range wireless technology. Visteon's system also allows you to do things remotely like starting the car, setting the temperature, or other functions. And it can locate your car and tell you where you parked. Now, all I've got to do is remember to keep my phone charged. Hey, don't forget to tune into Autoline After Hours tonight when our guest will be Joel Puskowski, who heads up all exterior design for Ford in the Americas. Join me and the auto extremist Peter DeLorenzo for the best insider information of what's going on in the auto industry. And also, Mark Phelan from the Detroit Free Press will also be stopping by. That's tonight on Autoline After Hours. And that's today's report on the top news in the global auto industry. Thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.